Then I can delete it from my computer. Thank you.
Yes, delete it from your computer.
Should I ask why?
Well, Rob, I can tell you that Ring Central had a lot of technical issues, a lot of compatibility issues. I believe a little bit, it was slightly archaic. So moving to Teams has been a whole new seamless world for us.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Right, we have about 1 minute before the call will begin. Okay, and with that, it is 12 noon Central. Welcome to the July Chapter Leader Training, Growing Membership Together, Membership and Engagement Check-In. The Membership and Engagement team is going to be with us today to go over everything membership with you. With that, I'm going to kick it off to Matt Harper, APWA Senior Manager of Member Services.
Thank you, Jill, and good morning or good afternoon, everybody. Hope everyone's having a great summer. PWX is right around the corner, so I hope you are in PWX prep mode as we are here. While we prepare for PWX, we are in active recruitment mode. Maureen Weber and I and the rest of the team here are ramping up for more recruitment. Let's run through the learning objectives first. Describe how APWA retention strategies can be replicated at the chapter level and identify specific tactics that can be adapted to improve member retention locally. Demonstrate how to access, interpret, and apply membership reports to identify at-risk members and implement data-driven retention efforts within the chapter. And finally, explain the role chapters play in supporting APWA membership recruitment efforts and identify actionable ways to collaborate with APWA staff to grow membership. Jill stated it a minute ago, but we'll have time for questions at the end. But if you do have questions that you think are pertinent to what we're talking about at the moment, put them in the chat or raise your hand, and we'll do our best to get to those as we go through the slides. Okay, my name is Matt. Like Jill said, I am the Senior Membership Manager, and my email and phone number are on the screen there, and I'm going to let Maureen Weber, our Membership Development Manager, introduce herself as well.
Hi, everyone. I'm Maureen Weber. As Matt said, I'm the Membership Development Manager, and I'm here if you have any questions or would like some help in membership recruitment strategies. Feel free to reach out to me at the email you see listed on the screen. I'm always happy to help.
Thanks, Maureen. We'll hear more from Maureen here shortly when we get to some of the more specific items. Okay, recruitment campaign update. I think it was back in March where we were on speaking with everybody, and we talked about kind of what we were going to do as far as recruitment. So here's where we are. We've gone through all the research that we gathered up, which was, you know, non-member agencies all across the United States of all sizes. We did our research and we began our recruitment back in late April, I believe, mid to late April. We've had 648 emails sent out, 612 phone calls completed, and that is in an outlined sequence, right? We're trying to hit the agencies twice in the same week. So if we do 30 emails, and then we'll on a Monday, Tuesday, we're trying to call them that same week and say, hey, I wanted to see if you got my email to talk about APWA membership. We talked in the previous email, we talked about education, and we talked about what's going on with APWA right now and why it might be of interest to you. I'd like to speak with you, whatever those conversations are. So that's where we are, over 1,200 outreach efforts from Maureen and I in the last couple of months. The current outreach that we had the current outreach that we're doing now is specifically aimed at local, right? What's going on in that state, or maybe even in that city that we know of based on our research. We're saying, hey, we are growing in Florida. We're growing in California. We're growing in, Virginia. Wherever we're speaking to that individual, we're talking about what's going on in their area, how APWA can be of value to that agency in that area. The first round of outreach was kind of an introduction, saying, here's APWA from a really broad perspective. And hopefully that was of interest to them, and that caught their interest, and they thought, okay, I want to hear more, or let's do some independent research. This next round is a little more personalized, a little more local, saying, we see you and we want to talk to you about topic X, topic Y, and how APWA can assist. And then that launched in late June. Those will probably wrap up here within the next 3 weeks or so. We want to make sure that we have those wrapped up before we really get it too deep into PWX preparation. And then when we return from PWX, we'll have a different round of messaging in our recruitment efforts. And that's where we go to the next phase. We're going to focus on communication with the return of investment, of saying, based on our research, your operating budget might be X, and APWA membership for your agency could be Y. And here's that really small percentage of what that subscription cost would be. It might be $2,000 for your agency for the year, and your operating budget might be $5 million, right? So it shows those agencies how little it really is in the broad perspective to become a member for the agency. And we also want to show them, it's not just an investment in APWA, it's an investment in your staff. And we all know how big turnover is right now. That's a big item. This could be part of a benefits package. It could be part of the agency saying, we want to invest in you, our new staff member, by giving you an APWA membership, or saying, turning to your staff and say, you all have been with us for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and we want to further invest in your career by giving you an APWA membership. And we also want to make sure that those agencies know that membership stays with the agency. The subscription stays with the agency. It doesn't leave when that employee goes and finds another job, or leaves after 6 months, or gets a promotion to another agency. That subscription stays with them. Okay, next up, we'll go to the campaign for chapters. How can chapters support our recruitment? What you can do is, invite agencies to talk with you, talk with us. Maureen and I are always willing and able to talk with non-member agencies about how APWA can help. And what we want is more communication back and forth with the chapters saying, hey, I'm reaching out to 10 member agencies this week. How can we support what you all are doing? Or I know a non-member agency in the area, and have you reached out to them? They have a new leader. They have a new leadership team, because we've done our research back in the springtime. That non-member agency might have a different leadership team than what we have in our agency database here. You can personally reach out to prospective members in your community, like I said. Invite non-members to your events, to your education, to your lunches, to your events. Maybe you're going to Topgolf or a golf outing or pickleball, whatever you might do in your area. Make sure to invite those folks to your events. I remember speaking with so many people at PWX and Snow Conference, and those folks that became APWA champions, their stories are almost always the same. Someone that they knew when they were a non-member invited them to go attend a meeting, or they got brought along to something and they attended it and they made a connection, and 5, 10, 15 years later, they're a chapter leader, or they are a volunteer on the national level, or they're on the board, or whatever. But those stories are always so impactful when they get invited or they get brought along by someone that's already a member. You can coordinate with your APWA membership staff, that's Maureen and I, on local recruitment opportunities. Like I said, we provided our phone number and our email address to let you know that we are here to help. We're not just doing a telethon. We want to bring in people to our conversations and help you guys out directly. Chapter tip: personal invitation from a local chapter member is often the deciding factor. I would say it almost always is the deciding factor. I worked in the education department for about 5.5 years, and the messaging that I would send out was always less impactful than when it came from a volunteer itself. That peer-to-peer is always more impactful than staff to non-member or staff to chapter member. Okay, the recruitment process. So we get our reports through Funtiva like you all do. So we need to pull those reports. We kind of break them up into little pieces and then digestible pieces, and then we move forward with those reports. The expired member report is maybe our most important report, because that tells us who we need to reach out to on a monthly basis. In fact, I just sent out a reminder email, personal email from me to those folks in groups who have they are the primary contact on a group membership that expired on 7/1. And I'm already getting people replying back saying, hey, how do I renew? Send me an invoice. I can't log in, whatever the case might be. But those expired reports are always really, really important. Again, personalize your communication. If you send it out to 500 people, it has to sound like it is a personal email to that person to get the most bang for your buck there. New members, I kind of went through it a minute ago about where we got the lead list, if you will, that Maureen and I use. We're Googling every agency in the States to try to find new members. If you think that you have a non-member agency in your area that is interested, and you're kind of wanting to find some ways to talk to them or some tools to send to them, that's what Maureen and I are here for. We're happy to set up calls and talk to you through whatever you want to talk through. Okay, recruitment process. Excuse me, for chapters. Your expired list is just as important as the expired list that we pull here. And you're going to know a lot of the folks on those lists, a lot of the agencies on those lists. And find out why they left. Did they not get an invoice? Did they not find value? Did they send a check to our old PO box, which is still happening after 7 months? But the renewals right now have never gone through this new renewal process, so everyone's still learning. Highlight what's new in your chapter. We'll get to it in a minute, but one of the main questions that Maureen and I get is when we get someone on the phone and they're like, hey, yeah, let's talk about APWA. The first question that we always get is, what's in it for me at the local level? And that is where chapters can play a big role in sparking interest for membership. And like I said, we'll get to that in a minute. Identify public works agencies, consultants, businesses in your area that are not engaged. There's going to be connections there that you don't know are there, or new opportunities for new connections. Agencies of all sizes. We are not, only looking at 100,000 and above. We're looking at all agencies of all sizes. So they are all important. There are many, many member agencies that have very small populations, but they have a big membership roster. A city of 10,000, they don't have to have a roster of 25, but they might. That happens quite often. And develop a simple annual recruitment plan and assign chapter leaders to outreach efforts. I've had some conversations with people at chapters that say, hey, I am a new membership chair, or I'm in charge of membership, and they don't know where to start. So they call us and they say, hey, what can you give me? What have you tried in the past so I don't duplicate that? Or what resources are available to us? I'm happy to have those conversations with those chapter people that want to have those recruitment conversations. Okay, next I'll throw it over to Jill to talk. Yep.
Hey, Matt, really quick.
Yeah.
I just want to turn to the chat.
Okay.
Nicole, I see you made a comment that agency turnover is affecting public works agency membership, and that APWA is a misstep in the handovers. Could you clarify a little bit on that so we can maybe come up with like an action plan or give recommendation? Is that a misstep in their internal handovers when someone transitions out of a role? Or do you feel that there's a misstep in how we are managing?
So the city of Berkeley, is our assistant delegate or whatever. And we were in a meeting the other day and she said, yeah, we are on our 4th public works director in 8 months. And so she said, I went to register for something and our membership had lapsed. And and she's not the one she's not the agency lead for it. So she didn't receive the notifications or whatnot. And so we're seeing a lot of that in our area, that public works directors are interims. We have one small city that pulled a past public works director in as an interim because they couldn't find a replacement. And so APWA memberships email reminders are getting lost in the transfer of one public works director to the interim to the whatnot, is what we're seeing now.
Okay, no, that's really great. Thank you for bringing that to the table here. So one thing that we are going to change in our renewal outreach is we are formulating the messaging right now. So it's in process, but we are committed to getting it done. Is doing outreach, and we're evaluating the timing of this, whether we would do it before or after expiration. We're kind of looking at some metrics that we have on things. But reaching out to the rostered individuals on the membership. Because I used to be in an industry where I was I was a member to a different agency or to a different professional organization. And oftentimes things would lapse because either, like you said, the person was gone who was the head of the membership, or it just got lost in the email. So we are going to start reaching out to everyone, because ultimately it does impact everyone's membership that's listed under that agency. So in your example for the city of Berkeley, in the future, we will have it set up to where those individuals who are on that membership will get a notification that either it's getting ready to expire, or that it has expired. So that way they will get the opportunity to push through, because we don't know who left and we don't know who's in charge now, but
Absolutely.
the individuals do, and they know how to track that information down. So that is
Yes.
on our radar. I'm really glad you brought it up. And then a little bit later, I'm going to go over some additional things that we'll kind of talk about this in there as well, in that part.
Okay.
So thank you for bringing that up. I'll go ahead and kick it back over to Jill for membership reports.
Maureen, if I can, thanks for pointing out that question. I didn't see that, so thank you. And Nicole, Maureen is 100% right. Also, what we've done is in Fontiva, there is now a CC email field. So if you can log into your account and put that in there, or you can reach out to our member services team and they can add that CC. What we found was A, the turnover, yes. B, some agencies put in their primary contact email address is like an AP or a finance or accounting. So the renewal reminder will go to that finance inbox, and no one really knows what to do with it because they're like, well, it's just a generic inbox, and they don't know what that's for, what the invoice, or I'm sorry, what the renewal email is for. It's not an invoice. So you might want to put, if you have a finance or accounting email, you might want to add a person on as a CC or the other way around. Or maybe just add a second person. That's fine too. So that CC along with that new procedure that Maureen was talking about is a way that we're looking to deal with that high turnover.
Okay. Sounds great. Thanks.
All right. No, thank you. Jill, I'll turn it over to you for the chapter membership reports.
Great. Okay. So everyone's talking about this data, reports. Where are these reports? How do you access the reports? Okay. Chapter membership reports. Every chapter gets 2 Fontiva license users, and they get superpowers, and they get to log into the chapter leader portal, which is the image that you're looking at right now. Now, some chapters, even that are on this call, have more than 2 Fontiva license users. Our standard, 2 licenses per chapter. If you email chapter services at apwa.org and state your need, we will look at that on a case-by-case basis, and we try to accommodate and make it as easy as possible for everyone. I just want to look a little bit at the specific membership reports here. Your total membership count includes your individual and your group. So if you pull total membership count, you'll be able to see everyone. You have your active individual, your active group. You have new members this quarter, last 90 days expired individual, and last 90 days expired group. Everything that has been discussed so far, you can slice and dice this data to figure out who do you need to contact. So that's something to keep in mind. And then just the resources regarding the reports, you can always email chapterservices@apwa.org, and we will walk you through how to do it. We also have a how-to guide that is in chapter leader resources under the membership section. I know that it doesn't seem very exciting to read a how-to guide, but I truly feel these reports are underutilized. We really truly have grouping, sorting. You can slice and dice the data in, I believe, different multiple ways that aren't even being utilized. So if you have any questions regarding this or tips or tricks from us, email chapter services and we will help you with your reporting. All right.
All right, now over to me. So new member emails. We are relaunching our new member. Before I go dive into this, Jill, I do just want to address the question in the chat so you can answer that for them. Do any reports show which branch the members are from?
Thank you, Maureen. Branches are not being tracked at this time in Fontiva. It is a priority. It is on our list. It is going to be down the road. But at this time, there is no branch information in Fontiva. The ETA, I cannot give you an exact ETA, Amy, but I can tell you it is on the priority list. And as soon as I know more, I will share that information in the monthly chapter leader announcements.
All right, so new member emails. We are relaunching the new member emails. So As someone joins APWA, they are getting a welcome and then a series of emails at about a weekly cadence that will just give them little nuggets of information. In the first email, they are introduced to their chapter. So they are encouraged to go out and look at your chapter website and start making connections. I encourage you all very strongly to keep your chapter websites up to date with events. If if your group uses the events calendar through APWA, that is another great way to engage people right away. The goal with new member emails is to give them just enough information to pique their interest and pull them in. When someone joins, they're often very excited about having joined. So this will kind of take them by the hand and pull them into all the different pieces. Right now we have about 6 different emails that will go out at a regular cadence. And we'll go over everything from just a quick start guide of how to connect with people in your chapter, how to look at your profile, and just little nuggets of information along the way. Dive them into education resources, explore certifications and accreditations with them, and then really dive into that member-to-member connection. How are we connecting as an organization? How are we getting people together? We, of course, go over government affairs because that is a big part of what we do as APWA is be your advocates. And then we dive into the career zone awards and more and all those kind of fun little extra bits that we have as part of our membership. Now, how can you all support us? I think the best way for a chapter to support is to be that boots on the ground welcome committee. You have the new member emails. You have all of their information from your reporting. I strongly encourage you to start reaching out. Start sending those little welcome emails. Maybe assign, hey, this month it's this person who's on the committee, or, just kind of assign it out to different people. You could even come up with a form email that I know, here at APWA, we could help create that for you. So that way you can just almost copy paste and add a little color to it and send it out. And I think it's really important for you all to connect with them, because it's one thing for us all mostly sitting here in Kansas City to send out a automated email. It's another thing for the person in their hometown to reach out and say, hey, so glad you joined APWA. This is how it's impacted us. These are the connections we've been able to make. Hey, and here's an upcoming event that we have. It just really personalizes it and gets them as part of your chapter and active and engaged right away. So strongly recommend that. We have a few other things to consider here that, I'll let you all kind of read through. It's just, use that information. You have it. You might as well to help build engagement and make people feel welcome. It goes a long way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and jump to the next one. The next thing that we have, and Nicole, this will kind of go back to your question. So this is the APWA Portal Quick Start Guide. This is an example of this membership manual that we are developing.
Maureen, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Do you want to advance your slide so you can see? I see new member emails. Do you guys see new member emails? Or is it me?
No, I see a portal quick start.
Oh, got it. Okay. It's mostly me.
Cool. Thanks, Jill. I appreciate it. But yeah, so APWA Portal Quick Start Guide. So this is kind of the start to a membership manual that we are developing. We understand that you all get a lot of questions about how to manage your membership, how to manage memberships. Yes, we have member services here in-house where people can call or email and ask the questions. But when you all are right in front of them at a chapter meeting or an event, of course, they might ask you the question, how do I know my renewal date? How do I know who is in charge of my public agency membership? How do I look at my CEUs? Where do I go for this? So we are developing all of these quick and easy quick start guides that will be posted up in the chapter leader resources under membership. And as we post them, this will start, the first one will be posted, I believe early next week is the date for this. And we can email that flyer as well, because that is the one that will be posted out to the chapter leader resources early next week. It is very simple. It just kind of lays it all out for you. So this initial one will go over your info. Say you do go to register, for example, with that example with City of Berkeley, the person was trying to register. They realized, oh no, my account's expired. How do I know who's in charge typically of that? There's actually a spot that we go over on this form specifically where you can see who is the manager of your public agency account. So we will be going through these. We will have resetting passwords. And as we create them, they will get updated out there on the webpage. And I'll make a note to just kind of add a little note into Jill's chapter leader announcements as we kind of continue to build this. And if you ever have feedback on things that you typically get asked, please send them my way. I'm happy to take those and create a form for that or a document, something that just makes everyone's lives a little bit easier. Something that you all can do is, how you can help keep people on their toes and keep people updating everything is share this information. So Trish, I appreciate you reaching out and asking for it via email so you can distribute it to your members. Additionally, it's a great way to kind of give people an action item or a housekeeping item at an event. There's always a good moment, I feel like, when you're up there and just say, hey, a few APWA housekeeping items. Don't forget to check into your member portal, check your CEUs, make sure they're accurate, and make sure your information is up to date. Just something that is a good way to kind of reconnect them to their actual membership, like nuts and bolts, I think, so they can work through that. Let's see. Any comments or questions on those items? Okay, I am going to kick it back over to Matt to talk through some recruitment challenges.
All right. Thanks, Maureen. And good questions. Keep them coming in the chat. So what are the roadblocks that Maureen and I are experiencing right now? They are crowded inboxes and busy schedules, right? The people that we're trying to reach out to are busy. They're out of the office. They're in a meeting. They are on another call. And sometimes we get through to them. A lot of times we don't. So a lot of voicemails, a lot of emails, a lot of following up. So what we're trying to do is get past those barriers. Trying to create that sense of urgency, give them an action item that we want them to do, whether it's maybe they reach out to the chapter. Hopefully they call Maureen and I back, or the email us back and say, tell me more, or let's set up a call. And that demonstrating the value of the membership is the hard part. We can talk about, all the good things that we have, PWX coming up, chapter engagement, advocacy, education, all of that good stuff. But we have to get someone on the phone or a back and forth via email before we can even start to do that. So those are the problems that we're having now. We are seeing more and more feedback coming in our way in regards to those phone calls and emails. There's that old sales saying that says you have to touch them 8 times before you get any kind of response. So we're about halfway there if we're going on that 8 times for every positive interaction. Local value. I touched on this a few minutes ago, but answering the question, what's in it for me and my organization? We can only communicate what we know and what we can show, right? What we can show is that APWA events calendar. This is not only an engagement tool that you have and that we can show, it is also in this case, recruitment tool. If someone says, hey, what's going on at my local level? I want to talk to my team or my leadership about it. We go to the APWA event calendar and we use what we have. So if you're not using that, we're not going to have much to to show. We're not going to have much meat on that bone to give to those people to take a look at. So if you're not using it, please consider it. If you are using it partially, if you could put more on there, great. If you're using it for all of your events and things like that, keep it up. We love the fact that you're doing that. And if yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to jump in. I was saying on that, Matt and I were kind of talking through this earlier, and the events calendar in particular, and I kind of equate it to looking at menus before you explore restaurants.
Yeah.
You want to know like if there's something in it for you before you choose a restaurant. I mean, I always check out the menu online before I show up to a restaurant because I want to know if there's something I'm going to enjoy there or something that's good. So it's kind of using the events calendar kind of provides that opportunity to the members, especially in a recruitment aspect. If they're trying to decide if it's worth it for them, then they're going to go out and do their due diligence and check it out and see, okay, so what events are in my area? So I do think it's important. And we also do point them to your chapter websites. As I mentioned before, I think there's a really great opportunity to just make sure that you're putting everything out there so they can see it and check it out before they commit.
Thanks, Maureen. That's a really good way to put it. The menus, if you're going to PWX and you see 5 restaurants near your hotel in Houston and 3 of them have menus, you're probably leaning towards those restaurants with the menus. You can see what they have to offer. Jill, there's a question in here, or maybe Cameron, about the chapter events. Oh, there it is. Nope, there's the answer. Beat me to it. Okay, recruitment challenges for the chapters. Why should my employer support my membership? What's in it for me? These are always tough questions to answer because it's a local thing, it's a business thing, it's an agency thing. But share your story, share your agency story, share your chapter member story. What value do you find in it? What value do you see in it as someone that might be in charge of making that decision for your agency, for your business? Why should my employer support membership? Giving them the tools to answer those questions themselves is the best way to go. You get the answer of it's great. I've been a member for 5 years. It's the best thing ever. That's fine. But you have to have something to give them. So that's going to be something that you can share your story, share your success story or your network story with them. And that is the best way to get that point across. That kind of gives you a little more of what I just stated: the local networking opportunities, professional development, volunteer opportunities, scholarships, mentoring, and the advocacy. Okay, keeping the members engaged. Recruitment is only the first step, right? Those personal relationships, which is what those 4 bullets are all about, that's what's going to not only bring them in, but it's going to keep them in. No one wants to say no, but it's easier to say no when there's no foundation, there's no relationship there. Yep, that's a perfect sentence there, that chapter tip about the happens at the chapter level. Okay, this slide, it kind of goes through those resources that Maureen mentioned a little while ago. We're still in the process of updating a lot of those chapter leader resources for membership specific. And these 5 things really touch on those new resources that are in that webpage. They all say new on them. They're on the bottom of that page. That's how you'll know when you see them. Welcome every new member personally. Invite a non-member to your next event. Contact 5 expired members. And if they... Not sure who that was. But yeah, we are reaching out to those expired members as well. So it should not be any new communication that they are getting unless it is a new primary contact. That quick start guide that Maureen mentioned a few minutes ago, that is always going to help you out there. Share your chapter success stories. I think we talked about that a minute ago of those. Share your stories to keep people engaged is always going to be valuable. Okay, questions. We had, I think, 3 come in via the chat, but I want to open it up now to questions. Whether it is on those chapter leader resources, maybe you want to know who we've been reaching out to at your level, in your area. I'm happy to share those lists with you. Anything you want to ask us?
And if there's no questions, let's flip it on its head a little bit. Is there anything for any of the chapters here? Have any of you done any kind of significant, mindful, thoughtful steps towards recruiting that have worked well for you? I'm just curious to know, Jim Kelly, I'd love to hear from you.
So we actually did try something and it's kind of working. And I know there's some things put together currently to make some of the boots on the ground memberships more affordable. I'm kind of a little different. I was in public works. I'm currently a borough manager, but I stuck with it because I do enjoy APWA. So one of the things that our chapter just did, we actually got a booth at the Association for Pennsylvania Municipal Managers Conference. And we had a booth there, which gave us an opportunity to talk to a lot of managers. And what we're finding out is the need or the desire for this membership is not making it back to the municipal managers, who ultimately are the ones that have to say yes to the different budgets. So we kind of went that way, and we did get a lot of the same things with some of the smaller communities. They're struggling with the cost to put all their public works employees on. But I do know we had quite a few managers at that point that asked us to talk to them as soon as the new pricing schedules and everything rolled out, that they're very interested.
Thank you. That's good to hear. It's nice to get that feedback from people who, like yourself, who are out there on the ground, checking things in, checking in with people. Okay, I'm gonna go to Trish. Sorry, I'm just kind of going as I see him pop up here.
Yeah, sure. Hi. We've done a few things over the past couple of years. One is set up a table at just about all of our events specifically for membership. So someone from our membership committee commits to attending the event and staying for at least an hour. Some of our events are long, but for at least an hour to talk to people and answer questions and highlight what's coming up. A part of that highlight is a discussion about our pricing. So we always have a lower price to our events for members versus non-members. And we can explain to folks what the Sorry, I don't know what happened. Sorry about that. Where did you
we
lose
can hear
me?
you now.
Oh, so I don't know where I got muted. Do you?
Oh, you were talking about how you talk about pricing and
Yeah.
how at your chapter events there's different pricing for members versus non-members.
Yes. So a part of our discussion with potential members and also existing members, if we see them kind of trailing and not attending as many events, is reminding them that difference in cost helps offset the cost of their membership. And a lot of the time their membership just gets absorbed by the time, if I calculate all of the savings throughout the year, if they've attended our classes and events, it completely offsets the cost of membership. So having someone man those booths and have the time to have that discussion has been really helpful. And then another thing we implemented a couple of years ago, one of our seminars, the Green Book seminar, went from in-person to virtual. So we saved all of the expenses of, paying for food and beverage, paying for a facility, paying for audio visual. Now that it's virtual, it's a really good income generator for us. So what we did was added a new registration category called Never Been a Member. And if you enroll for the Green Book seminar all 5 days and you've never been a member of APWA, we'll buy your first year membership. The cost is very similar for the seminar and how much membership is, but we do all the paperwork for you. You are now a member of APWA for a year, and we get 20 or 30 people a year that way.
And what chapter are you at, Trish? I apologize. I'm not
That's
familiar
okay.
with all the chapter leaders.
No, that's okay. Southern California.
Okay. That's a great number of like 20 to 30 a year there. No, I like both of those ideas. That sounds really great. And thank you for doing the work to recruit and encourage membership.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
All right, Nicole, I'll go ahead and call on you.
So we hold a director's brunch in the beginning of the year between January and March, and we invite all of the public works directors from our chapter area that we can find contacts for. And it's free for them, and they just have to travel to wherever we're holding it that year. And we give them a forum to discuss things that are happening in their areas that maybe they can brainstorm with other directors on problem solving solutions or what they're having trouble with, as well as pick their brain about what they would like to see from our chapter education programming and what topics they're interested in, what topics they need from us to provide for their employees. So we've done that for, I think, the past 2 or 3 years we've done that. And it usually goes over pretty well. We usually have anywhere from 35 to 50 people within our region attend. That's kind of our opening of the year, like, hey, we're viable. What do you need from us?
I like that. Do you open it to non-members and members alike?
Yeah, we invite every public works director that we can find a contact for, whether they're members or not, just in all the counties, all the cities that we can find information. Sorry, I'm kind of going to put you on the spot. Have you been able to convert non-members to members through that brunch? Or if you don't have that number off the top of your head or any feedback don't.
there,
That
that's
would
totally
be my
fine.
membership coordinators might have that info. He has a better handle on the specifics.
I was just curious. You've got you guys all, you all have my wheels turning in here, things to do. So I love this. That's great, Nicole. Awesome. Okay, looking at my list, Stephanie Boyce. I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Hi there, I'm with the Kansas City Metro chapter, and we do a quarterly membership lunch for all our new members to invite them to learn more about the chapter, what we do, events that we're hosting. We'll try to have at least one member from our executive committee there to, along with our membership committee chair. And it's fun because we get to learn as executive committee members, learn new faces and people and membership. So it's a really good thing for us to be able to get to know more people and recruit more people.
That's great. That would, an invitation to that would be a great accompaniment to the new member email campaign that will go out. So yep. I think that's going to go really well. I really like that idea. Anyone else? Okay, well, I appreciate everyone sharing those ideas and jumping in. It's always good to hear what your peers are doing. Like I said, kind of gets those wheels turning of like, oh, that seemed pretty simple. Like that'd be an easy thing to implement. Oh, we've got one coming to the party, William.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. You talked about an agency membership. What does that include? How many is it capped at 10 people or 15 people?
No, we have, so our memberships, the public agency memberships are based on, they're the recommended base membership size or the appropriate membership size based on your population. I don't have them memorized, so Matt, you might have them better off the top of your head than I do, but they're based on your population and they go all the way up to PA 30. And so that's for groups 100,000 or no, 500,000 and above. But you guys are testing me today. But either way, that you get 30 roster spots with those memberships. So
Yeah.
And the thing I always like about the public agency membership, sorry, Matt, were you gonna?
No,
jump
go
in
ahead.
on
Go ahead.
the-
I'll get you when I'll
The
jump in when you
thing
finish.
that I always pitch as being really valuable for public agencies with a public agency membership, in lieu of doing a whole bunch of individual memberships, is it's less cost per person. I think there's like a 20 or I can't remember. There's a bit of a price break per person on there, but also the membership stays with that agency. You can reassign that roster spot to someone, whereas let's say, Matt and I are an organization, with Jill and Cameron and Alice, and we're sitting here, well, if you've paid for everybody to have an individual membership and then I up and leave, that membership goes to me because it's an individual membership. But if you're paying for a public agency membership, that membership is tied to the agency itself. So when that person leaves the agency, that spot comes open and the next person to come in. So you're not losing that investment on the employee. That investment
Understood.
stays in-house.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
Jill, you beat me to it, but William, on that link that Jill sent out, you'll see our membership model, and it's based on population served. So smaller populations served will have a smaller expected roster. For example, if you have a population served of between 10,000 and 25,000, you're going to have 4 roster spots available. You can add as many people as you want above and beyond that for $211 per person. So you would have those 4 plus 2, so you'd have 6 spots available. And if that employee leaves with the new hire, you can put that person right into that membership subscription, no problem. But yeah, it's based on the population served.
Okay. Understood. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, as we're coming up on time, is there anything else that anyone wanted to share or had a question on? All right, I think we're good. I see Jill dropped a few housekeeping items in the chat. This will be available and online within 72 hours. I will also make sure that the document that we shared, or the little, I shared a snip of in mine, will go out with, I'll get it over to Jill so it can go out to her chapter leader communications. So thank you, everyone. Jill, did you have anything else you wanted to add as we wrapped up here?
No, thank you, Matt and Maureen. That was, I think, very educational and valuable. They shared their email addresses. If you have already forgotten their email addresses, you can email chapter services and we will get you in the right direction. Thank you very much for attending our July, I can't believe it's already July, but our July chapter leader training. August is going to be government affairs. Those invitations will be going out late next week. And other than that, that's a wrap. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, everybody.
Hi, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you.